Hi everyone, welcome back to the Restorantine series where I interview members, community leaders, and friends of Restore. Today I wanted to check in on my good friend James Lee. James is the pastor of Christ Community Church out on Long Island, and over the last several years he's had a lot of changes in his life. He graduated from seminary, he's had a couple of children, he took his first position as a senior pastor at a church, and now, like the rest of us, he's dealing with this COVID quarantine. I wanted to talk to James and find out what we could learn from him, what are some of the things he's learning, where he sees things going in his church, and just find out general ways in which we can pray for him. So I hope you enjoy this conversation. Hey man, thanks for making some time today. Appreciate you blocking me out.
Hey, thanks, Jeremy. It's an honor and privilege to be a part of the Restorantine series.
An honor and a privilege. I like that. Hey, James, I'm doing this, hopefully for anybody that wants to watch it, but for people at Restore. And a lot of people probably don't know who you are in our church. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit?
Hi, so I'm James. I'm married to my beautiful wife, Jen. We have our son who is 2.5, and our daughter is 3 months old. He has been pent up in the house because of the COVID-19 virus. So he's been testing our limits, but our daughter is an angel. She's a saint. We love her. I pastor a church called Christ Community out here on Long Island, in a town called East Islip, New York, about an hour and 20 minutes east of New York City. I've been out here for about 1.5 years, 2 years now, and yeah, I love Restore. I love our classes. I love the Christian Reformed Church. I love Reformed theology. I am an avid baseball analytics fanatic. I love sports, but I appreciate always having good talks with Pastor Jeremy Moulton.
So I play this game with our kids that we started playing during the quarantine, and it's whatever. You play it on the TV screen, and everybody puts in their answers. I think it's called Quiplash, but anyway, one of the questions that was asked last night was, how can you make baseball better? And my kids wrote, have them play with their shoes tied together. So not a baseball family. But hey, actually, one of the things, as you were talking, it made me think of, do you feel like I'm giving you your exam again?
No, but that is a little deja vu, because I think we'll be forever intertwined with that relationship, because you were the one who interviewed me for my classical examination for ordination. So,
well, that's what it made me think of as I was listening to your answer. Like, I asked you a question and you're like, well, hi, I'm the Reverend James Lee. Although you weren't a reverend then, I guess. So you just said I'm James Lee. But, actually one of the things I wanted to talk to you about is you do have, over the last 3 years, you've had 2 kids. So you have 2 little kids in the house. So not school age yet, but some families are dealing with, how do we do distance learning with our kids when we've never had to do that before? You have a different challenge. You have 2 small kids at home who are cooped up, don't understand what's going on probably. So what's that been like for you guys?
it's been tough. There's no right or wrong answer. I think it's all about context, and it's all about personality. And my wife and I think we're learning day by day. There are some days when um, I consider myself very fortunate that I don't have an office job, where I'm stuck clocking in at a certain hour to a certain hour. So there's flexibility where I can watch both kids while she's taking care of a couple things, or vice versa. And because of that, we've learned communication has been incredibly important, because there are certain days when I tell her I have an interview with the stated clerk of my classes, so I can't watch the kids. Or, there are certain times when she's like, I need you to watch the kids. Like, so just to always communicate and have the willingness to be flexible. Because if I was just like, no, actually, honey, I can't, and I have to work 8 to 5 during this, at home, then there's no, if there's no room for communication, and if there's no grace and room for flexibility, you won't get anywhere. So and I'm grateful for that too, because it gives me more opportunity with my kids, which I would normally not have, uh, if it wasn't for this COVID-19 virus, and this shelter in place orders. So
Yeah, flexibility. That's a good word. That's key. I think that's it's probably taken us about 2 to 3 weeks to figure out what does flexibility look like when you're all stuck in the same house trying to do different jobs and whatever.
mhm, absolutely.
Um, so what are you doing at this point to stay connected to your congregation? I mean, what is life like on Long Island right now?
Well, in the beginning of March, when the news started to spread about COVID-19, many of the people in our community and in our congregation, we didn't think much of it. We kind of took it for granted. Oh, it's not going to hit us. It's not going to hit. And then within a week, it seems like it went from 0 to 100 real quick,
Hmm.
and it caught everybody off guard. So it's in those moments that I think a lot of people started to panic. A lot of people started to have uncertainty. A lot of people started to have questions and doubt. And is this real? Is this hysteria? Like, what the heck? Like, I can't do this. I can't do that. And like, people started getting frustrated. So what I started doing was I started doing a prayer meeting every single night through Zoom, and that officially started on March um, 23rd. So that we went through a full week last week, and then we're going through another full week this week. But praying every night, seeing everyone's faces, has been incredibly powerful. And we have in our congregation, we've had 40% of the people in our church participate in these prayer meetings. And percentage wise, I think that's pretty awesome.
That's really great.
So it's been very helpful to just touch base every night for a half an hour, read scripture together, pray together, um, and also at the same time, um, teach the baby boomers in my church how to Zoom. It's
Yeah.
it's been it's been I feel like there should be more treasures in heaven for pastors who can teach baby boomers how to Zoom.
Yeah, that wasn't a seminary class, was it?
Oh no, it wasn't. But it's been really cool to see one of our ladies' Bible studies. Average age is a little higher, and but they're on Zoom, and they are having their Bible studies like they normally would, and it's been very cool to just see them continue to try to push on. And many of the sentiments has been like, you know what, this is a serious situation. This is something where we got to be careful. We got to take caution, but this is not going to make us stop church. We're going to keep doing church. And I've been very appreciative of that kind of can-do attitude and spirit in my church, in my community, especially the community that I'm part of here. There's volunteers who are doing fundraisers for the local hospitals, and it's been incredible just to see people step up.
Yeah, that's first of all, I know we were joking about, teaching people how to use Zoom, but you found obviously that people figured it out pretty quickly.
Well, it's I think you got to let them know that there's multiple options. There are some people that uh, hate computers and tablets and devices, and you can tell them, hey, you can pick up a landline and dial, you know, the phone number
Yeah.
and still participate.
Yeah.
And they've appreciated it, because I've had some people who are just like, I'm not gonna get it going, but they call in, and later on they let me know and they say, hey, thanks for pushing me to call in, because I really appreciated the word that I heard tonight, or I really appreciated praying together and
Hmm.
whatnot. So it's been really awesome to just encourage multifaceted approach rather than oh, you need to do this on your computer, or you need to do this on your device.
Right. Um, You mentioned some of the ways that, people are engaging with church, like almost like their engagement has gone up a little bit since being here. What do you see as like some of the positive takeaways that you would hope would continue in your church even after this quarantine? If I mean, we're going to get to the other side of this thing eventually. It sounds like there's some positives you're seeing people, and like I said, what are those are you hoping would continue?
Well, I think a lot has to do with prayer. People are starting to realize the power in praying together. Um, one of our deacons kind of joked to me and said, "It seems like our prayer meeting attendance has spiked up because it's now on Zoom rather than in person." Um, I think it's not just because of that. Obviously, it's also because of the season we're in. People don't know anywhere else to go. They need direction, and they want to pray. But that's my hope that that spirit of prayer continues to push forward, because we've already started to hear prayers being answered already within a week. So that's my hope that that kind of pushes forward. If that ends up becoming a Zoom prayer meeting on a weekly basis, why not? Because at the end of the day, we have technology not as a means to do everything to replace church, but as a tool to continue church.
Yeah, I said that to my wife just the other day. She was talking about some of the things she wants to do using over video, whether a Bible study. And I said, I think a lot of those things that we start up now because we have to, because we can't get together, will actually have the potential to be just the way we do it moving forward because of the ease that we can gather.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is more of I think it's more of a personal question, but I think it's helpful for all of us to ask ourselves, what are some of the things you're learning about yourself during this time? I know you're a guy who loves to be with people, right?
Yeah, I I am missing the people interaction. I am missing the hugs. I am missing the fist pumps and the high fives, and although you can do the coronavirus
Yeah.
fist bump, but the elbow. But yeah, I've learned that I am an extrovert in so many ways, so it's been challenging. But at the same time, the introvert in me has kind of learned that sometimes you need rest, and it's been very humbling to find myself grow even within this season. And I think it's been another life lesson that God has given, because um, you always need to grow, and it's almost like you're so busy with the to-do list, and as a husband, as a dad, as a pastor, and as a board member of a great Christian school, or like the list can go on. But then in the midst of all that busyness, you forget to rest. Sometimes you forget Sabbath. People use the words day off or time off. They don't use, "Oh, I'm taking a Sabbath," or I'm, and so I think God has been really teaching me that during this season, where as much as I miss um, people, as much as I miss going out and just laughing and talking about faith and community, um, God has, I think, really been humbling me to really learn how to rest in Him, and really just pursue Christ even in this season. So it's been, yeah, it's a lot of life lessons already within a couple weeks.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. I think there's just a lot that if we're really thinking about it and reflecting, you go, "Oh boy, I think God's trying to teach us some things that we don't want to miss."
Mhm.
But well, hey man, I appreciate your time. Um, you got a lot of insight. So I really appreciate everything that you shared with us.
Thank you. Yeah, like I said, I consider it an honor and privilege to have this conversation with you.
Well, we'll have many more, I'm sure. Maybe they won't all be recorded, but I know that we talk enough that we'll talk again shortly.
I'm sure. Yeah. Thank
So,
you.
all right, man. Well, thanks a lot and have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. God
Yep.
bless.
Yep. Bye. Well, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoy the conversation I had with James. If there's anybody that you'd like me to interview or talk to during this time, please feel free to let me know and I'll do my best to set up an interview with them. In the meantime, I hope you're staying safe, enjoying your time. If you liked this video, please share it. You can like it on YouTube or subscribe to our YouTube channel to get these updates continually. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon.